listening to whistleblowers throughout the bureaucracy, so let me speak about, I know on July the 21st, 2023, IRS Supervisor Special Agent Gary Shapley emailed you asking that you direct senior IRS leadership to stop retaliating against him. On May the 18th last year, IRS Special Agent Joseph Ziegler emailed you to disclose his concerns about the IRS handling of a case that he was working on. I have an opportunity to talk to these. So I know that they've asked to meet with you, what they wanted to discuss with you. I would assume they want to tell you what's wrong within handling of certain cases. And I would think you at the top of the IRS would want to listen to them. So I'm not going to ask you a question, but I'm going to do now what I told them I would do. I was going to ask you to meet with the two of them and just listen to them. Whether you take action or not is up to you, but I think you ought to at least listen to them. I think whistleblowers throughout government are some of the most patriotic people I know. And I would ask you to do that. Now I want to go to my first question. The IRS whistleblower program, which you know I was involved in getting enacted, that's brought $6 billion into the federal government. It's been a pretty effective and efficient program. But we have this problem of the average wait time for people to get their case closed has gotten longer and is now up to 10 years. The long average wait time is in part due to the IRS policy against paying partial awards. Under this policy, the IRS will wait years until all the years of claims are completed to pay anything whatsoever. Effectively, the IRS has created barriers to pay awards on its own that are not in the whistleblower statute passed by Congress. So you need to examine the unnecessary policy in the IRS revenue manual and work to allow partial awards to be paid to whistleblowers as quickly as possible. Could you do that?
Senator, I'm glad you asked the question. Between the question that Senator Crapo asked on identity theft backlogs and your question on the backlog on our whistleblower claims, you're pointing to two very high priorities as we move forward. As I said in my opening statement, we've had a good filing season, but we have a lot more work to do. And these are two areas. I will commit to, that is an interesting recommendation on partial payments and the way we can potentially accelerate how whistleblowers who are providing such valuable information to us get their fair share of the money that they saved for the American taxpayer. So we will look into that, and I will get back to you. And also, since I didn't get an opportunity, Senator Crapo, I will get back to you on identity theft, another big priority and a big issue that we have to do better at.
I'm glad that whoever makes arrests for people that violate the law in IRS, because this one contractor is now serving 5 years for disclosing information. But I kind of wonder how an activist like him, who wants to be contracted, who presumably got a job for the sole purpose of making public information about taxpayers. In this case, I guess he was after Trump's tax returns. How was an activist with plans to steal taxpayer information able to get hired and gain access to taxpayer information? And what action has the IRS taken to ensure an active employee or contractor is never again able to access and share sensitive taxpayer information?
Thank you for the question. Protecting taxpayer information from unauthorized access is an absolutely solemn responsibility of the IRS. The individual you referenced betrayed the trust of the IRS and the American people. It's a betrayal that cannot be tolerated. And based on what played out in court, it is not being tolerated, as this bad actor was brought to justice and will be serving a 5-year term in prison. From my first day on the job back in March of 23, it is a top priority to strengthen the data security at the IRS. And we have taken numerous steps to address this, working with TIGDA to make sure that we have their to-do list aligned with our to-do list. Fewer users, more robust encryption, stronger oversight, better access logs, less removable media, tighter email controls, new printer controls. All of this is ongoing and being put in place to make sure that this type of unauthorized access by a contractor, in this case it was a contractor, or an IRS employee, can never happen again. There's always going to be that risk. What you try to do is narrow the risk to as small as it possibly can be. Insider threats and unauthorized access from insider threats, it's impossible to get rid of completely. But I am committed to reducing the probability to as small as it can be by putting in the sweat equity to close all those gaps.
Commissioner, I'm Senator Grassley's partner on the whistleblower effort, have been for years. I very much support the fact that you're going to make those issues about